All right, let's talk some Jalen Hurts. I didn't think he had his best day. That's just how I viewed this. In fact, I think this is the worst game I've seen him in the NFL, but we still saw some positive flashes as well. However, just by the numbers are not pretty. 115 yards on 26 attempts, so it's not like he never threw. He had, under 5 yards per attempt. That's the Around the Football podcast calls that the Blaine Gabbert zone, which I always think is funny. That's where he was at. He was in the Blaine Gabbert zone. And also the running wasn't great. 44 yards on 10 attempts, so only 4.4 yards per carry. That's good for a running back, not great for a quarterback. So what went wrong? Let's just talk about what went wrong and also the positives that we saw towards the end, because again, I am a supporter of Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's underrated. I think he's pretty good. I just think that for whatever reason on primetime, he's struggled perhaps. So let's just talk about what happened. So we'll start things off with this one. We're going to start off with some negatives, then we will get into some positives. So what's going to happen on this play? This is kind of a great example of I don't know how much blame I want to put on Hurts. There's other issues at play here for sure, but it's also one of those things where a good quarterback does notice this kind of stuff. So I think it's fair to talk about. On this play, you're going to have multiple receivers run out the block, the 2 defensive backs in that area for Tampa Bay. You then have a halfback kind of just, flip out underneath. Hurts can throw it to him. It's, simple halfback screen. We see this kind of stuff all the time. However, you see I put a big emphasis on one of these specific blocks right here. Mostly because, so this is Ross Cockrell, that's the defensive back, and really watch the Philadelphia receiver here. He's barely gonna even attempt it. He takes one step and says, someone else got it, I'll block someone else. That's not what you're supposed to do. So now Ross Cockrell has completely blown up this play. He's in the backfield. If this is the completion, you're losing 4 yards. That's maybe best case scenario other than an incompletion, because there's a very real chance this could be a pick 6 if Hurts makes this throw. Again, this situation occurring is not Hurts' fault, but Hurts not noticing it, I think is fair to say that is his fault, especially when as a quarterback, being able to see the field, that's a huge asset. He also lobs it up a little bit, and that one was asking to be a pick 6 right there. So it's a good example of he just didn't see the field well. Troy Aikman called him out on that, actually on the next play I'm going to show. And I think it's really a great way to describe it. He just wasn't seeing things well. So this was that play that I'm talking about. It's a 3rd down and 10 right here, down 14. So you want to make something happen. 13 minutes left in the game, down by 2 scores. But, you don't have to. It's man coverage, and watch what happens. So this blitz comes and just completely blows up the play immediately. Good job by Todd Bowles scheming up the blitz. That worked. It's a 5-man rush. That shouldn't have happened. The blitz shouldn't be able to come through that well, but it did. So now for Hurts, what do? It's worth mentioning, I don't know how much blame I want to put on him for not being able to pick up the blitz. But again, it's another aspect of hey, a good quarterback probably notices the concept and, shifts the offensive line around so a free rusher doesn't get to him. But again, he's young. This kind of stuff happens. I'm not going to kill him for it. And it's worth mentioning that a bad quarterback in this situation, even if they're a veteran, actually forget about a bad quarterback. Even good quarterbacks, if they're not mobile, get sacked right here, right? Tom Brady, he's on the floor right now. He doesn't even try to get out of it. He just lies straight down, right? That's kind of the situation. Hurts at least has the benefit of being able to move around. He is going to scramble out, and then he's going to make this throw on the run, the sideline, and that was very close to being intercepted. Live, that looks like an interception. I paused it right here. I just don't know what he was looking at, what he saw, why he decided to make this chance. You got to throw the ball away right there. That's just what you have to do. There's nothing there. It sucks. You want to get the touchdown here, but a field goal or even a 4th down and 10 still helps you. If it's beneficial to go for it, then you got to trust that your coach will do the right thing. Again, I get it. This doesn't always work out, but clearly you can't be taking that chance. When nothing's there, all that's going to happen is a bad thing. And there was some stuff like this too. Quite frankly, I thought the first 3 quarters of his game, maybe, 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters of the game, I thought that he was as bad as I've ever seen him, quite frankly. There were some guys who, even on the broadcast footage where I can't see everything, I saw guys running wide open. There were also plays like this where it's not wide open, but it's a play that he should make. It's cover 2 zone. You have Zach Ertz running into a gap in coverage right there. This is a play that can work. And look at how right when this play starts, so there is going to be a gap right there. So Ertz is open. I mean, this is a throw you have to make, quite frankly. It just is. In the NFL, these are the throws you have to make, especially on a 3rd down and 5. I mean, making these plays, it's costing you a possession to not make this play. And Hurts just overthrew him, quite frankly. And, now Zach Ertz isn't a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. It sucks. Like, it's not, you don't want to completely crush the guy for it, because I still like Hurts as a player. I don't think that he's a bad player. But these are bad plays, and these are plays that he needs to be better at. Now, worth mentioning, the Eagles actually ended up covering after all this. They ended up only losing by 6. Let's talk about a couple plays from that comeback. For example, this was the touchdown. So it's going to be a 4th down and 3 right here, and it's man coverage. And this is an interesting play that might actually encapsulate how Jalen Hurts is as a player a little bit, because right when this play starts, so, over there, Zach Ertz, again, he's relatively open, right? I mean, the safety comes over and is, at this point, it looks like it's going to be a double team, although it actually won't end up that way. But he's paying attention to Ertz, which I understand. So Jalen Hurts could make this throw. There is a window for him to make this throw. It's just going to be pretty tough, right? It's not a wide open play. And he also knows that, hey, man coverage, no one's looking at him. One of the 2 guys that could be paying attention to him is going to be the safety, who has currently looked away. And the other player is, I set this up as a cover 1 hole. I do actually believe this was a blitz, actually. Devin White was blitzing on this one. So that actually means that the only other guy who really could be paying attention to Hurts is currently looking at Zach Ertz, meaning that Jalen Hurts can totally run with the football if he wants to. No one's looking at him. So that's what he does, and he is going to end up getting the touchdown right here. I think that makes sense. Like, I think that's the smart decision on that play. So a lot of people say, I don't love the guy who's going to pass up a throw to run with the football. I think that's fair in some instances, but in other instances, it's better to have the guy who's going to run with the football. This was one of those latter incidences. And then we have something like this. So what's going to happen here? This is just a design play that worked. I think the problem was, and I've actually liked what I've seen from Sirianni in terms of X's and O's. I know there's some game management stuff and some like red zone stuff that people have been frustrated with. I get it. But in terms of like this kind of stuff, I actually have liked it a decent amount. Although I didn't like it on Thursday, and I think a good chunk of that might have just been, hey, Todd Bowles, he's a veteran defensive coordinator, kind of got the better of the Philadelphia offense as a whole. What's going to happen is that it's zone coverage, and what you're going to see is that Devonta Smith is going to be the guy who's eventually going to get into a gap in coverage. And right when this play starts, so you are going to get an opening, Hurts is going to make this throw, and it's not wide open, but it's open enough, right? This is one of those plays that's working. This is an example of a good play. And I felt like once you got sort of a script working, Hurts was able to have a lot more success, especially with the running game going. That helps set some stuff up. And look, really accurate throw. They were able to pick up a big chunk play right there. That's good stuff from Jalen Hurts, I would say. So, a chunk of it was like when you had man coverage across the board, it's, hey, throw it to the open guy. He was kind of making some wrong reads. Some of that is luck. When things were going well, when there's sort of a script, he was a lot better. So yeah, as a whole, rough day. A part of it might have just been, hey, less time to game plan against Tampa Bay. That kind of hurts you, especially against a defense that Todd Bowles is running. So they couldn't take full advantage of the weak corners. That could have been a factor. And just some guys struggle a little bit. Like I thought Brady struggled at times in this one as well. So that kind of is just how it works. But still, it wasn't his best day. So those are my thoughts on his performance. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.